Success isn't sexy. How boring habits lead to extraordinary results. Written and published by MSC Boost. Chapter 1. The monotony of mastery. Mastery is not a destination. It is a journey. A journey that is paved with countless hours of practice, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to the craft. The road to mastery is not lined with flashy billboards or glitzy rest stops. Instead, it is a long, winding path that demands patience, perseverance, and an embrace of the mundane. True masters understand that success is not born from a single, spectacular performance, but rather from the consistent application of fundamental skills. They recognize that the key to unlocking their full potential lies in the willingness to show up day after day, even when the work feels tedious or uninspiring. Masters cultivate a deep love for the process, finding joy in the repetition of basic techniques and the gradual refinement of their abilities. Consider the world-renowned pianist who spends countless hours practicing scales and arpeggios. To the untrained eye, this repetition may appear monotonous and unproductive. However, the pianist knows that these fundamental exercises lay the foundation for their ability to create beautiful, complex compositions. By focusing on the mastery of basic skills, they develop the muscle memory and instinctive understanding necessary to excel in their craft. The same principle applies across all domains of expertise. The star athlete who spends hours perfecting their form, the writer who diligently hones their prose, and the artist who tirelessly studies the fundamentals of their medium, all understand that true mastery is built upon a bedrock of consistent, deliberate practice. However, the path to mastery is not always an easy one. It requires a willingness to embrace discomfort and push through the inevitable plateaus and setbacks. There will be moments when progress seems slow, and the temptation to seek out shortcuts or quick fixes may arise. But those who achieve mastery understand that there are no substitutes for hard work and dedication. In a world that often glorifies overnight successes and viral sensations, it can be easy to lose sight of the value of consistent, unglamorous effort. We are bombarded with stories of individuals who seemingly achieve great things with little effort, leading us to question the necessity of the daily grind. However, these narratives rarely tell the full story, the years of tireless work and unwavering commitment that preceded the moment of recognition. To truly achieve mastery, we must learn to find beauty in the monotony. We must cultivate a love for the process, recognizing that each repetition brings us one step closer to our goals. By embracing the daily practice and focusing on incremental progress, we develop the resilience and grit necessary to weather the challenges and setbacks that inevitably arise. Moreover, the pursuit of mastery is not just about achieving external success. It is also a path to personal fulfillment and growth. When we dedicate ourselves to the mastery of a craft, we develop a deeper understanding of ourselves, our strengths, weaknesses, and the unique qualities that define us. We learn to find joy in the journey, recognizing that the process of growth and self-discovery is just as valuable as the end result. Mastery is not about perfection. It is about the relentless pursuit of improvement. It is about showing up each day, even when the work feels tedious or uninspiring, and trusting that the cumulative effect of our efforts will lead to extraordinary results. By embracing the monotony of mastery, we unlock our full potential and discover the true path to success. The road to mastery is long and often unglamorous, but it is a journey worth taking. By cultivating a love for the process, embracing the discomfort of growth, and finding beauty in the repetition of fundamental skills, we set ourselves on the path to achieving extraordinary results. Mastery may not be sexy, but it is the key to unlocking our greatest potential and creating a life of purpose and fulfillment. Chapter 2. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is a fickle friend. It comes and goes, often leaving us high and dry when we need it most. We've all experienced the surge of enthusiasm that comes with starting a new project or setting an ambitious goal, only to find our motivation waning as the novelty wears off and the real work begins. This is where discipline comes in, the steadfast companion that keeps us moving forward even when motivation fails. Discipline is the cornerstone of long-term success. It is the ability to consistently show up and do the work, regardless of how we feel in the moment. While motivation can provide a temporary boost, discipline is what sustains us through the inevitable ups and downs of any worthwhile pursuit. It is the foundation upon which lasting habits are built, and the key to unlocking our full potential. The power of discipline lies in its ability to automate our behavior. When we rely solely on motivation, we are at the mercy of our shifting emotions and external circumstances. However, when we cultivate discipline, we create a reliable system that ensures we take action even when we don't feel like it. By establishing clear routines and non-negotiable commitments, we remove the need to constantly make decisions and battle with our own resistance. Consider the athlete who sets their alarm for 5 a.m. every morning to train. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They simply get up and do the work because that's what their discipline demands. Over time, this consistent effort compounds, leading to improved performance and a greater capacity for growth. The same principle applies to any area of life, whether it's building a business, learning a new skill, or improving our relationships. Developing discipline requires a shift in mindset. Rather than viewing it as a restrictive force that limits our freedom, we must recognize it as a liberating tool that enables us to achieve our goals. By committing to disciplined action, we free ourselves from the tyranny of our own excuses and the endless cycle of starting and stopping. We create a sense of structure and purpose that allows us to channel our energy more effectively and make steady progress over time. Of course, cultivating discipline is not always easy. It requires us to push through discomfort, resist temptation, and stay the course even when we feel like giving up. However, the more we exercise our discipline muscle, the stronger it becomes. Each small act of self-control and consistency reinforces our ability to stay committed, making it easier to maintain our momentum in the face of challenges. One effective strategy for building discipline is to start small. Rather than trying to overhaul our entire lives overnight, we can begin by focusing on one keystone habit that supports our larger goals. For example, if our aim is to improve our health, we might commit to exercising for just 10 minutes each day. By setting a manageable target and consistently meeting it, we create a sense of accomplishment and build trust in our ability to follow through. Over time, we can gradually increase the scope and intensity of our efforts, using our growing discipline as a foundation for more ambitious pursuits. Another crucial aspect of discipline is learning to embrace the process. When we fixate solely on the end result, we can become discouraged by the distance between where we are and where we want to be. However, when we fall in love with the daily practice and find joy in the small victories along the way, we develop a more sustainable relationship with our goals. By focusing on the present moment and the satisfaction of showing up consistently, we cultivate a sense of intrinsic motivation that fuels our discipline over the long haul. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being committed. There will be days when we falter, when life gets in the way, or when our motivation wanes. The key is to view these moments not as failures, but as opportunities to recommit and get back on track. By treating discipline as a practice rather than a destination, we create space for flexibility and self-compassion, recognizing that the path to success is rarely linear. Ultimately, discipline is the bridge that spans the gap between our aspirations and our achievements. It is the quiet force that propels us forward, even when the road ahead is uncertain or the rewards seem distant. By cultivating discipline and prioritizing consistency over fleeting motivation, we lay the foundation for lasting success and personal growth. We become the architects of our own destiny, shaping our lives through the power of our daily choices and actions. Discipline may not be glamorous, but it is the true key to unlocking our potential and achieving extraordinary results. By embracing the unglamorous work of showing up day after day, and by finding joy in the process of growth and self-mastery, we set ourselves on the path to success. So let us cast aside the fickle friend of motivation and instead embrace the steadfast companion of discipline, the true North Star that guides us towards our highest aspirations. Chapter 3. The Power of Incremental Progress. In our fast-paced, instant gratification culture, it's easy to become fixated on the idea of overnight success. We're bombarded with stories of individuals who seemingly achieved their goals in a flash, leaving us feeling discouraged when our own progress appears slow in comparison. However, the truth is that lasting success is rarely the result of a single, dramatic leap forward. Instead, it is the product of consistent, incremental progress, the small, daily steps that compound over time to create extraordinary results. The power of incremental progress lies in its ability to transform even the most daunting goals into manageable, achievable tasks. When we focus solely on the end result, we can become overwhelmed by the distance between where we are and where we want to be. This sense of overwhelm can lead to procrastination, self-doubt, and ultimately, stagnation. By shifting our focus to the small, daily actions we can take to move forward, we create a sense of momentum and progress that sustains us over the long haul. Consider the story of the tortoise and the hare. While the hare relied on its natural speed and talent, the tortoise focused on taking one small step at a time. In the end, it was the tortoise's steady, consistent progress that carried it across the finish line first. This classic tale illustrates the power of incremental progress, the idea that slow and steady wins the race. The same principle applies to any area of life. Whether we're working towards a fitness goal, building a business, or learning a new skill, it's the small, daily actions that ultimately determine our success. By committing to consistent, incremental progress, we create a sense of forward momentum that builds upon itself over time. Each small victory reinforces our confidence and motivation, making it easier to stay the course and overcome obstacles along the way. One of the keys to harnessing the power of incremental progress is to set clear, measurable goals. When we have a specific target in mind, we can break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. For example, if our goal is to write a book, we might commit to writing 500 words each day. By focusing on this small, daily action, we create a sense of progress and accomplishment that fuels our motivation over the long term. As we consistently meet our daily target, we build momentum and gradually chip away at the larger goal until it becomes a reality. Another important aspect of incremental progress is celebrating small victories along the way. Too often, we become so fixated on the end result that we fail to acknowledge the progress we've made. By taking the time to recognize and celebrate our small wins, we create a sense of positive reinforcement that keeps us motivated and engaged. This might mean rewarding ourselves for hitting a milestone, sharing our progress with a supportive friend, or simply taking a moment to reflect on how far we've come. Of course, embracing incremental progress requires a shift in mindset. We live in a culture that glorifies overnight success and instant gratification, making it easy to feel like we're falling behind if we're not seeing dramatic results right away. However, the reality is that lasting success is built through consistent, unglamorous effort, the daily grind that often goes unnoticed and uncelebrated. To truly harness the power of incremental progress, we must learn to fall in love with the process. This means finding joy and satisfaction in the small, daily actions that move us closer to our goals. It means embracing the challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning. And it means trusting that our consistent effort will ultimately lead us to the success we desire, even if the path is longer and more winding than we initially anticipated. Incremental progress may not be sexy, but it is the true key to achieving extraordinary results. By focusing on small, consistent actions and celebrating the progress we make along the way, we create a sense of momentum and purpose that carries us forward. We become the architects of our own success, building our dreams one brick at a time. So let us cast aside the myth of overnight success and instead embrace the power of incremental progress. Let us fall in love with the process, finding joy and meaning in the daily actions that shape our lives. And let us trust that our consistent, unglamorous effort will ultimately lead us to the extraordinary results we seek. For it is through the power of small, daily steps that we truly transform our lives and achieve our greatest aspirations. Chapter 4. Embracing discomfort for growth. Growth and comfort rarely coexist. The path to personal and professional development is often paved with challenges, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. It is in these uncomfortable spaces that we are pushed to stretch beyond our perceived limitations, confront our fears, and unlock our true potential. To achieve extraordinary results, we must learn to embrace discomfort as a catalyst for growth, recognizing that the greatest rewards often lie on the other side of our comfort zones. The human brain is wired for comfort and familiarity. We naturally gravitate towards situations and experiences that feel safe and predictable, as they provide a sense of security and ease. However, this innate desire for comfort can often hold us back from reaching our full potential. When we become too complacent in our routines and habits, we risk stagnation and missed opportunities for growth. By consciously choosing to step outside of our comfort zones, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and experiences that can propel us forward. Discomfort is a sign that we are pushing against the boundaries of our current abilities and knowledge. It is the feeling we get when we take on a new challenge, embark on an unfamiliar path, or confront a long-held fear. While this discomfort can be unsettling, it is also an indication that we are on the cusp of growth and expansion. By embracing these uncomfortable moments, we send a powerful message to ourselves that we are willing to do what it takes to achieve our goals and become the best version of ourselves. One of the keys to embracing discomfort is to reframe our perspective on failure and setbacks. Too often, we view these experiences as negative and something to be avoided at all costs. However, failure is an inevitable part of the growth process. It is through our mistakes and missteps that we gain valuable insights, develop resilience, and learn what works and what doesn't. By shifting our mindset to view failure as feedback and an opportunity for learning, we can approach discomfort with a sense of curiosity and openness, rather than fear and avoidance. Another important aspect of embracing discomfort is learning to trust the process. Growth is rarely a linear or predictable journey. There will be moments of uncertainty, doubt, and frustration along the way. However, it is in these moments that we must hold fast to our vision and trust that our efforts will ultimately lead us to our desired outcomes. By staying committed to our goals and focusing on the small, daily actions we can take to move forward, we build the resilience and perseverance necessary to navigate discomfort and come out stronger on the other side. Of course, embracing discomfort doesn't mean taking on more than we can handle or pushing ourselves to the point of burnout. It's important to find a balance between stepping outside of our comfort zones and honoring our own limits and needs. This might mean starting small, taking calculated risks, and gradually increasing the level of discomfort we are willing to tolerate over time. By approaching discomfort with intention and self-awareness, we can ensure that we are pushing ourselves in a way that is sustainable and conducive to long-term growth. To truly embrace discomfort, we must also cultivate a growth mindset. This means viewing challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning and development, rather than as threats to our sense of self. When we approach discomfort with a growth mindset, we become more resilient in the face of obstacles and more willing to take on new challenges. We recognize that our abilities and intelligence are not fixed traits, but rather qualities that can be developed and strengthened through effort and perseverance. Embracing discomfort also requires a willingness to let go of perfectionism and the need for control. Growth is often messy and unpredictable, and it rarely goes according to plan. By releasing our attachment to a specific outcome and instead focusing on the process of learning and development, we create space for unexpected insights and breakthroughs. We learn to embrace the discomfort of uncertainty and trust that our efforts will ultimately lead us to where we need to be, even if the path is not always clear. Discomfort is not something to be feared or avoided, but rather a powerful catalyst for growth and transformation. By stepping outside of our comfort zones, confronting our fears, and embracing the challenges that come our way, we unlock our true potential and achieve extraordinary results. We become more resilient, adaptable, and confident in our abilities to navigate the ups and downs of life and work. Learning to embrace discomfort is not always easy, but it is a skill that can be developed and strengthened over time. By consistently pushing ourselves to take on new challenges, reframing our perspective on failure and setbacks, and cultivating a growth mindset, we build the mental and emotional muscles necessary to thrive in the face of discomfort. We become the kind of people who are willing to do what it takes to achieve our goals and create the lives we truly want to live. Extraordinary results rarely come from staying within the confines of our comfort zones. They are the product of bold action, calculated risks, and a willingness to embrace the discomfort that comes with growth and change. By learning to lean into discomfort and trust the process of development, we set ourselves up for success in all areas of life. We become the architects of our own growth, building the skills, mindset, and resilience necessary to achieve our greatest aspirations. Chapter 5. The Simplicity of Systems. Success is not the result of grand gestures or momentous leaps, but rather the cumulative effect of small, consistent actions taken over time. The key to achieving extraordinary results lies in the power of systems, the simple, repeatable processes that we put in place to streamline our efforts and make progress towards our goals. By focusing on the development and implementation of effective systems, we create a framework for success that allows us to work smarter, not harder, and achieve our objectives with greater ease and efficiency. The beauty of systems lies in their ability to automate our decision-making and minimize the mental energy required to take action. When we have clear, well-defined systems in place, we remove the need to constantly deliberate over what to do next or how to proceed. Instead, we can simply follow the predetermined steps, trusting that they will lead us closer to our desired outcomes. This frees up valuable cognitive resources that can be directed towards more strategic thinking, problem-solving, and creativity. Developing effective systems begins with a clear understanding of our goals and the specific actions required to achieve them. This involves breaking down our objectives into smaller, more manageable components and identifying the key steps that will move us forward. By deconstructing our goals in this way, we create a roadmap for success that is both actionable and achievable. We can then use this roadmap to design systems that support our progress and keep us on track. One of the most powerful types of systems is the habit. Habits are the automatic behaviors that we engage in without conscious thought or effort. They are the small, daily actions that, when compounded over time, lead to significant results. By intentionally cultivating habits that align with our goals, we create a system for success that operates in the background of our lives, propelling us forward even when motivation is low or obstacles arise. To create effective habits, it's important to start small and focus on consistency over intensity. Rather than trying to overhaul our entire lives overnight, we can begin by identifying one or two keystone habits that will have the greatest impact on our progress. For example, if our goal is to improve our physical health, we might commit to exercising for just 10 minutes each day or drinking an extra glass of water with each meal. By starting with these small, manageable actions and consistently showing up to perform them, we build the momentum and self-discipline necessary to tackle more challenging habits over time. Another key aspect of designing effective systems is to create an environment that supports our goals. Our surroundings have a profound impact on our behavior and decision-making, often in ways that we are not consciously aware of. By intentionally crafting an environment that makes it easier to engage in positive habits and harder to fall into negative patterns, we set ourselves up for success. This might involve decluttering our workspace to minimize distractions, surrounding ourselves with supportive and like-minded individuals, or removing temptations and triggers that derail our progress. In addition to habits and environment design, Effective systems also involve the use of tools and resources that streamline our efforts and enhance our productivity. This might include using a task management app to organize our to-do list, leveraging automation tools to handle repetitive tasks, or investing in education and skill development to expand our capabilities. By identifying the tools and resources that best support our goals and incorporating them into our systems, we create a powerful infrastructure for success. Of course, no system is perfect, and there will inevitably be times when we fall short or encounter unexpected challenges. The key is to approach these moments with a spirit of experimentation and continuous improvement. By regularly reviewing and refining our systems, we can identify areas for optimization and make adjustments as needed. This might involve tweaking our habits, modifying our environment, or seeking out new tools and resources that better support our evolving needs. The power of systems lies in their ability to transform even the most daunting goals into achievable milestones. By breaking down our objectives into small, consistent actions and putting in place the structures and processes that support our progress, we create a framework for success that is both simple and effective. We shift our focus from the overwhelming enormity of the end goal to the small, daily steps that will get us there, trusting in the cumulative power of our efforts. Developing and implementing effective systems is not a one-time event, but rather an ongoing process of refinement and optimization. It requires a willingness to experiment, adapt, and continuously improve, even in the face of setbacks or challenges. By approaching our goals with a systems mindset and committing to the consistent application of proven strategies, we set ourselves up for long-term success and achievement. The simplicity of systems is a testament to the power of small, consistent actions taken over time. By focusing on the development and implementation of effective habits, environments, tools, and processes, we create a framework for success that is both achievable and sustainable. We unlock our full potential and achieve extraordinary results, not through grand gestures or momentous leaps, but through the steady, unwavering pursuit of our goals, one small step at a time. Chapter 6. Focusing on the process. Success is not a destination but a journey, and the key to achieving extraordinary results lies not in fixating on the final outcome, but in embracing the process that leads us there. When we shift our focus from the end goal to the daily actions and habits that propel us forward, we cultivate a mindset of growth, resilience, and continuous improvement. By falling in love with the process, we find joy and fulfillment in the pursuit of our dreams, rather than tying our happiness and self-worth to the attainment of a specific milestone or achievement. The problem with an outcome-oriented mindset is that it often leads to frustration, disappointment, and self-doubt. When we become fixated on the end result, we place our happiness and sense of success in the hands of external factors that are often beyond our control. We become vulnerable to the whims of circumstance and the opinions of others, and we risk losing sight of the progress and growth that we are making along the way. This can lead to a sense of helplessness and despair, as we feel that our efforts are futile if they do not immediately yield the desired outcome. In contrast, a process-oriented mindset is grounded in the belief that success is a natural byproduct of consistent, purposeful action. When we focus on the process, we shift our attention from the destination to the journey itself. We become more attuned to the small, incremental steps that we can take each day to move closer to our goals, and we find satisfaction in the act of showing up and putting in the work. This mindset allows us to maintain a sense of control and agency, even in the face of setbacks or challenges, because we know that our success is determined by our own actions and choices. Cultivating a process-oriented mindset begins with setting clear, meaningful goals that align with our values and purpose. These goals serve as the guiding stars that orient our efforts and give us a sense of direction, but they are not the ultimate measure of our success. Instead, we focus on identifying the specific actions and habits that will move us closer to our objectives, and we commit to showing up each day to execute on those priorities. This might involve breaking down our goals into smaller, more manageable milestones, creating systems and routines that support our progress, and seeking out the resources and support that we need to stay on track. As we engage in the process of pursuing our goals, it's important to approach each day with a sense of curiosity, openness, and self-compassion. We must be willing to experiment, take risks, and learn from our mistakes, knowing that failure is not a reflection of our worth, but an opportunity for growth and improvement. We must also be kind to ourselves, recognizing that progress is rarely linear, and that there will be ups and downs along the way. By cultivating a mindset of self-compassion and resilience, we can weather the storms of setbacks and challenges, and continue to move forward with grace and determination. Another key aspect of focusing on the process is celebrating the small wins and milestones along the way. When we become too fixated on the end goal, we often overlook the progress and achievements that we make on a daily basis. By taking the time to acknowledge and celebrate these small victories, we reinforce our sense of momentum and motivation, and we remind ourselves that success is not a singular event, but a series of small, consistent steps in the right direction. This might involve keeping a gratitude journal, sharing our progress with a supportive friend or accountability partner, or simply taking a moment at the end of each day to reflect on what we accomplished and learned. Focusing on the process also requires a willingness to embrace discomfort and challenge ourselves to grow beyond our current limitations. Growth and progress often require us to step outside of our comfort zones, to take on new challenges and responsibilities, and to push ourselves beyond what we think we are capable of. This can be uncomfortable and even scary at times, but it is through this discomfort that we develop the strength, resilience, and adaptability that are essential for long-term success. By leaning into the discomfort and viewing challenges as opportunities for growth, we cultivate a mindset of continuous improvement and personal development. Of course, focusing on the process does not mean that we disregard the importance of outcomes or ignore the realities of the world around us. We still need to have a clear vision of what we want to achieve, and we must be willing to adapt and pivot our strategies as needed to navigate the challenges and opportunities that arise. However, by grounding ourselves in the process and trusting that our consistent efforts will ultimately lead to the desired results, we can maintain a sense of perspective and balance, even in the face of uncertainty or adversity. Shifting our focus from outcomes to process is a powerful way to achieve extraordinary results and find fulfillment in the pursuit of our goals. By falling in love with the daily actions and habits that move us forward, celebrating the small wins along the way, and embracing the discomfort of growth and challenge, we cultivate a mindset of resilience, adaptability, and continuous improvement. We learn to find joy and meaning in the journey itself, rather than tying our happiness and self-worth to the attainment of a specific destination. Success, then, becomes not a singular event or achievement, but a way of being a commitment to showing up each day with purpose, passion, and determination, and trusting that our consistent efforts will ultimately lead us to the extraordinary results we seek. By focusing on the process and embracing the journey, we unlock our full potential and create a life of meaning, growth, and fulfillment, one small step at a time. Chapter 7. The Resilience of Grit. In the face of adversity, setbacks, and challenges, it is the resilience of grit that separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who fall short of their potential. Grit, the powerful combination of passion and perseverance, is the driving force that propels individuals forward. Even when the path is steep and the obstacles seem insurmountable, it is the unwavering commitment to a long-term goal, coupled with the willingness to put in the hard work and effort required to see it through, that defines the essence of grit and sets the stage for remarkable achievements. Grit is not about talent or innate ability, but rather the dedication and determination to pursue a goal with relentless focus and effort. It is the ability to maintain a clear sense of purpose and direction, even in the face of setbacks and failures, and to continue pushing forward with a steadfast belief in one's own potential. Those who possess grit understand that success is not a matter of luck or circumstance, but the result of consistent, purposeful action taken over time. They view challenges and obstacles not as barriers to success, but as opportunities for growth and learning. And they approach each setback with a mindset of resilience and adaptability. Developing grit begins with cultivating a deep sense of passion and purpose. When we are driven by a genuine love for what we do and a clear understanding of why it matters, we are more likely to persist in the face of difficulty and maintain the motivation and energy required to see our goals through to fruition. This passion is not a fleeting emotion or a momentary burst of enthusiasm, but a sustained commitment to a cause or pursuit that aligns with our values and aspirations. It is the foundation upon which grit is built, and the fuel that propels us forward when the going gets tough. Equally important to passion is the quality of perseverance, the ability to maintain a steadfast commitment to a goal, even in the face of setbacks, failures, and obstacles. Perseverance is the engine that drives grit, the tireless work ethic and unwavering determination that keeps us moving forward, even when progress is slow or the path is unclear. It is the willingness to put in the long hours, to push through the discomfort and frustration, and to keep showing up day after day, even when the rewards are not immediately visible. Those who possess perseverance understand that success is not a destination, but a journey along an often arduous process that requires patience, discipline, and a steadfast belief in one's own potential. Cultivating grit also requires a growth mindset, the belief that our abilities and intelligence are not fixed traits, but qualities that can be developed and strengthened through effort and practice. When we approach challenges and setbacks with a growth mindset, we view them not as failures or indictments of our worth, but as opportunities for learning and improvement. We embrace the discomfort of stretching beyond our current abilities, knowing that it is through this process of struggle and adaptation that we develop the resilience and tenacity required to achieve our goals. A growth mindset allows us to reframe failures and setbacks as temporary and surmountable, rather than permanent and defining, and to maintain a sense of optimism and self-efficacy, even in the face of adversity. Another key aspect of developing grit is the ability to break down long-term goals into smaller, more manageable pieces. When we are faced with a daunting challenge or an ambitious objective, it can be easy to become overwhelmed and discouraged by the sheer scale and complexity of the task at hand. However, by breaking down our goals into smaller, more actionable steps, we can create a sense of momentum and progress that sustains our motivation and drives us forward. This might involve setting intermediate milestones, creating a step-by-step plan of action, or identifying the specific skills and resources required to achieve our objectives. By focusing on the small, daily actions that move us closer to our goals, we cultivate a sense of control and agency, even in the face of uncertainty and adversity. Grit also requires a willingness to embrace discomfort and push beyond our perceived limitations. Growth and progress often lie outside of our comfort zones, in the space where we are challenged to stretch and adapt in new and unfamiliar ways. This can be uncomfortable and even scary at times, but it is through this process of stretching and reaching that we develop the resilience and adaptability required to achieve extraordinary results. By leaning into the discomfort and viewing challenges as opportunities for growth, we cultivate a mindset of courage and determination, and we develop the mental and emotional stamina required to persevere through even the toughest of circumstances. Of course, cultivating grit is not a solitary pursuit. It is through our connections and relationships with others that we find the support, encouragement, and accountability required to stay the course and maintain our commitment to our goals. Surrounding ourselves with like-minded individuals who share our passion and purpose, seeking out mentors and role models who can guide and inspire us, and building a network of support and collaboration can all be powerful ways to cultivate grit and maintain our motivation and momentum. By tapping into the collective wisdom and energy of others, we expand our own capacity for resilience and growth, and we create a sense of shared purpose and meaning that sustains us through even the toughest of challenges. Grit, then, is not a fixed trait or an innate quality. but a skill and a mindset that can be cultivated and strengthened over time. By developing a deep sense of passion and purpose, cultivating a growth mindset and a willingness to embrace discomfort, breaking down long-term goals into manageable pieces, and surrounding ourselves with a supportive network of peers and mentors, we can develop the resilience and tenacity required to achieve extraordinary results. It is through the power of grit that we are able to push beyond our perceived limitations, overcome obstacles and setbacks, and create a life of meaning, impact, and fulfillment. The resilience of grit is the key to unlocking our full potential and achieving the extraordinary. By cultivating this powerful combination of passion and perseverance, we develop the mental and emotional stamina required to pursue our goals with unwavering determination, even in the face of adversity and uncertainty. We learn to view challenges and setbacks not as barriers to success, but as opportunities for growth and learning, and we approach each day with a sense of purpose, optimism, and self-belief. In doing so, we set ourselves on the path to remarkable achievements and a life of meaning and impact, one gritty step at a time. Chapter 8. The fulfillment of delayed gratification. The concept of delayed gratification can seem like a relic of a bygone era. We are bombarded with messages that tell us to indulge our every whim, to seek out the quickest and easiest path to happiness, and to prioritize our own desires above all else. However, it is through the practice of delayed gratification, the willingness to sacrifice short-term rewards in pursuit of long-term gains, that we unlock the key to lasting success, fulfillment, and happiness. Delayed gratification is the art of resisting temptation in the present moment in order to achieve a greater reward in the future. It is the ability to look beyond the immediate desires and impulses that drive our behavior, and to make choices that align with our long-term goals and values. This might involve foregoing a night out with friends in order to focus on a critical work project, saving money instead of splurging on a new gadget, or choosing a healthy meal over a tempting dessert. In each case, the decision to delay gratification requires a willingness to tolerate discomfort and uncertainty in the short term, in order to achieve a more meaningful and fulfilling outcome in the long run. The power of delayed gratification lies in its ability to help us develop self-control, discipline, and a sense of purpose. When we consistently choose to prioritize our long-term goals over our short-term desires, we train our minds to focus on what truly matters, and we develop the mental and emotional resilience required to overcome obstacles and setbacks. We learn to view challenges and temptations not as threats to our happiness, but as opportunities to strengthen our resolve and deepen our commitment to our aspirations. Over time, this practice of delayed gratification becomes a habit, a way of being in the world that allows us to approach each moment with a sense of clarity, intention, and purpose. Of course, the practice of delayed gratification is not always easy. In a world that is constantly vying for our attention and tempting us with shiny objects and quick fixes, it can be all too easy to succumb to the allure of instant gratification. This is where the power of systems and habits comes into play. By creating structures and routines that support our long-term goals, we make it easier to resist temptation and stay the course, even when our motivation is low or our willpower is tested. This might involve setting clear boundaries around our time and attention, creating accountability systems with friends or mentors, or developing rituals and routines that reinforce our commitment to our aspirations. Another key aspect of cultivating the practice of delayed gratification is learning to find joy and fulfillment in the process of pursuing our goals, rather than solely focusing on the end result. When we become overly fixated on the destination, we risk missing out on the growth, learning, and experience that comes from the journey itself. By shifting our focus to the present moment and finding meaning and purpose in the small, daily actions that move us closer to our objectives, we cultivate a sense of intrinsic motivation and satisfaction that sustains us through even the toughest of challenges. This is not to say that the pursuit of long-term goals should come at the expense of all short-term pleasures and rewards. Indeed, a life devoid of joy, play, and spontaneity is hardly a life worth living. The key is to find a balance to prioritize our long-term aspirations, while still allowing space for the small indulgences and moments of happiness that make life rich and meaningful. This might involve setting aside dedicated time for rest and relaxation, treating ourselves to a favorite meal or activity after a particularly challenging week, or simply taking a moment to savor the beauty and wonder of the world around us. The practice of delayed gratification is about more than just achieving our goals. It is about becoming the best version of ourselves and living a life of purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. When we learn to resist the pull of instant gratification and instead focus on the long-term rewards of hard work, discipline, and perseverance, we tap into a deep well of inner strength and resilience that allows us to weather even the toughest of storms. We develop a sense of self-mastery and control that permeates every aspect of our lives, from our relationships and careers to our physical and emotional well-being. The fulfillment of delayed gratification is a testament to the power of the human spirit, the ability to rise above our base instincts and impulses and chart a course towards a brighter, more meaningful future. It is a reminder that true happiness and success are not found in the fleeting pleasures of the moment, but in the deep satisfaction that comes from living a life of purpose, integrity, and impact. By cultivating the practice of delayed gratification and making choices that align with our deepest values and aspirations, we set ourselves on the path to a life of extraordinary results, a life that is rich in meaning, fulfillment, and endless possibility.